What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another week of Living with Will. Success and happiness to everyone who hears this. And as always, if you like the podcast, please like, comment, or subscribe. It'll help me grow the audience and eventually take over the world. But enough about me. This is about the artists who come on the show. And today's artist is none other than one of the greatest artists to ever touch the stage, a mic, or an instrument, who goes by the name of Hanjin. Not only is he the first ever Chinese NFT music artist drop, he is also an incredible artist of all mediums. If it comes to music, if it comes to acting, the guy is just outrageously talented in all ways. And he's also an incredibly unique and wonderful human being. I'm so grateful for his time. Hanjin, you're the fucking man. You already know how it is. And I'm just so grateful for his time and his energy. So sit back, relax, and welcome back to another week of Living with Will. 生活总搞得人措手不及，我凭感觉不靠记忆。 Same way, by expressing my gratitude. Thank you so much for being here, man. I'm super grateful to you.
Likewise. I'm so happy for the Clubhouse connection. It's the craziest thing.
Wild, truly wild. So I guess that's like where we meet, right? And that's the end of the story as it's gone so far. But I like to start at the beginning. Everyone starts as a child. We all started pretty useless in the grand scheme of things. So how did you begin this path that took you to Clubhouse? Where did the journey begin? And where did this love of music come from?
Okay, so it started with conception. I became a zygote and came out of my mommy on the 27th of January, which apparently is Mozart's birthday. So yeah. Makes me feel good. Yes, and makes me feel bad when I realize I'm nowhere close to as smart as Mozart. When I was I'll do the nutshell thing because I don't know how short or long my answer should be. Nutshell. Primary 1, which is grade 1. We get these report cards. Your grades, comments. My teacher was. My class teacher was head of the choir, and I joined the choir. And so she wrote, Hanjin loves to sing, but doesn't have a good voice. That was a great joke. That was a great joke. We laughed and laughed and laughed at home, and it was one of the funniest nights we had at that house before we moved to the new house. And then when I like all Singaporean kids, we learned to play the piano. Our parents want us to have some sort of culture. So we grade 7 of the ABA RSM system. My teacher.
What is the ABA RSM system, really quickly, for those who don't know?
Royal Schools something. ABA RSM. Associated. Okay, I don't remember what the acronym stands for. Royal School of Music or something. It's the popular system. There was another system that's the Trinity system, which is harder, I think, but I never did it, so I don't know how much harder. Well, basically grades 1 to 8. After that, you can do the diploma, and after that you can sign up to be a teacher. I was in grade 7. I was having a hard time. Teacher said one day, you know what, kid, you can't do music. You've got no talent. You're not hacked for it. You're not designed for it. You're just not wired for it. Go home.
Damn.
And I was like, Yahoo! I don't have to do this anymore. It's so hard. I can't sight read to save my life. So he had the hardest time with me. I take the longest time to learn a single piece. So like every examination requires 3 pieces, and I take a whole year to learn 3 pieces. And he hates me for it, and he hates sitting through my like left hand, right hand forever, hands together, next bar process. So like I understand his pain. I told my mom. Mom was upset. Then fast forward, high school. My mom chucked her classical guitar aside. I picked it up, learned some Nirvana songs. We had to do national service. So that's 2.5 years. But while I was in national service, we had a lot of downtime in like, by the bunks and stuff. And like, they like, who plays the guitar? And I'll play, and like, they gave me some brownie points, so I could do one less guard duty maybe. So I kept playing. And then when I got out of the army, I went to I auditioned at a pub, at a club, and I started playing in clubs. And I did that for about 5 years, all through uni. It got me through uni because like towards the end, they were paying me enough to do tuition. So like I told dad like, hey, I can help out, you know. Then during that period, I started like having these little dreams, like I want to be a rock star. I want to be like U2, you know, like Bono. I like the way Bono sings, and I like the way Edge plays the guitar. So what if I could be like an Asian, like a Bono slash Edge kind of combination? Made some demos, got a internship at a Japanese company. I was like a ghost produce, not producer, no, ghost studio assistant maybe, and like help out with their demos and records. And then didn't work out. Went to Japan, came back, then sent my records to labels because I was writing songs and for popular Chinese artists, and that got me some credit in the Chinese market. And I realized that okay, no one's gonna sign me in English, so I'm gonna do some Chinese songs. And I was like, please, you know me as a songwriter. Would you like to release my records? And they'd say stuff like, oh, your face don't match your music, and like, um, basically what they're saying is that you don't look good, and we don't know how to market you.
People
So
say
like,
the worst shit to musicians, man. That type of shit is outrageous.
they didn't say that in my face though. I had to figure it out. So I
Mhm.
lost 5 years in the figuring out sections. Like if only you said it to my face, I would have picked it up quicker because I'm kind of
Mhm.
slow. So I wish they had said it to my face. And so I did production and like songwriting became my career. Once won the awards, and then the Chinese awards. Parents were not impressed though, because they still felt like music, hey, musicians, you know, you're like second class citizens, or like they're afraid for your
Mhm.
livelihood. Then I got some acting gigs because Jin the MC
Mhm.
Jin, the guy,
Mhm.
the Chinese rapper who went on BET and like got gold. He was in Hong Kong for a bit, and we did an album together. And then we got cast in the same movie because of we were doing a promo run for the album, and we did our concerts. And then like got the attention of these movie guys who were making a Bruce Lee movie, and they needed Bruce because Bruce Lee had three best friends. One of them was a famous child actor from China, and they needed two more best friends. So like we got cast as his best friends. And then it was a great thing for me because I won for that role. I won the Hong Kong Film Award, and that got my parents really amped. The first time I ever hear them scream. So that was validation with parents. I was happy they finally like, oh, he's an actor now, so I don't have to worry about his livelihood. So I acted more, and then but then the anti-corruption thing laws came about in China, and then like they had the quotas, like you can only cast so many foreign actors in any one film, and then COVID, so everything went downhill from there, and I'm back to music, and now and then Clubhouse. Oh my God, the story of Clubhouse. I missed out the IG explosion. I missed
Mhm.
on the Chinese Twitter explosion, which is Weibo. I still have it. I have about 500,000 followers on it, but like it's like, but I missed the initial thing. So I don't really understand it. It's not in my bones. Likewise, IG, Facebook, they're not in my bones. But and then Clubhouse came and said, I gotta jump on this. I gotta understand how this works.
Mhm.
So and then 2 weeks into my addiction, NFTs blew up in a big way. I mean, they've been up for the longest time, and I just never knew about it, never cared about it. Bitcoin's been around for the longest time, 10 odd years, not a cent lost. Didn't know a thing about it.
Mhm.
Blockchain, meh, never bothered about it. Um, been a Neanderthal forever, and now I'm like, for the past 6 days, I've been cramming my brains about this NFT angle, and like, I gotta admit, my head is exploding.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the type of thing that can make your head explode because it's so fascinating. I love how you called it an addiction because that's how I feel about it. I'm like, I have not gotten any sleep since I got on Clubhouse.
Except when
Just
you do
working.
podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. But I love it, right? Like it's like my time is I'm either talking to a group of people who I can't see their faces and I'm fascinated with what they have to say, or I'm looking at someone in the face and they're saying fascinating shit that I can't get enough of. Like it's what I really love about it is that at a time where we're stuck inside, we get to interact with each other.
Yeah, yeah. It's the perfect COVID addiction.
They got us, man. They rolled this product out the perfect time possible.
Yeah. Who knew it would last this long?
Man, I was telling you before we got on that I got my first vaccine shot. Man, do you remember when they told us it was gonna be 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know what they were saying. Are you in Singapore now?
I'm in Hong Kong.
You're in
It's
Hong
messy
Kong.
in Hong Kong. There was
Really?
a breakout just a few days ago. A couple hundred people got hit in the gym. So, and it's spreading because it's the financial. It's a gym in a residential district where there are a lot of financial professionals, a lot of expats, and
Oh,
the finance guys work in central in the CBD. So that means for the first time the CBD is a hot zone, and that's not good. Used to be
yeah.
in like suburban areas, but like now it's like, whoa, right smack center.
Well, how's it going out there as far as vaccines? How are you all doing with the vaccinations?
Um, we got it's a mixed bundle. It's a mixed pot, mixed
Yeah.
opinions. Yeah,
It's wild, man. It's wild. Well, listen, I want to say as far as that, my heart to anyone that affected by it, and to anyone who's listening.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna
It's
get through
tough.
this together.
We are only together. Yeah,
Only, I mean,
yeah.
I will say, there's never been a time quite like this in history. I think where the whole world is in something together like this. We're
True,
talking from opposite sides of the world, dealing with the same issue, like, being there for each other. I don't know if
true.
there's anything else that's ever really been like that. It's like a silver lining to an otherwise horror story that we're living in right now.
Well, nothing binds people together like a good crisis.
Yeah, no bullshit. It's a common enemy, man. Fuck coronavirus. Well, listen, turn it on to a more positive story. Let's get back to you. I want to talk a little bit more about your life story, man. Like, you started
Okay.
out, you're doing the music thing. It's not quite working. You end up in the military. You said that you did 2 years in the military. What was that experience like? Did you enjoy it? Was it formative?
It's compulsory.
Yeah.
So we don't like it, we do it,
Yeah.
unless we want to lose our passports. So
Right.
I hung on to my passport, and I did my national service. I think it's the same in Taiwan, but it's a shorter term, 1 year. I think Germans have to do it too. I think it's compulsory as well. Koreans mandatory as well. So like it's like if you don't do it, you lose your citizenship. And some people would rather lose their citizenship than to waste those 2 years.
Wild. Yeah. But it sounds like, it had a positive impact on you. It kind of jump started your love of guitar for
Oh, you from More Than Words to Nirvana.
Yeah. Well, you know what I love? I will say this. I love that Nirvana is the common link between us with our love of music. Something about Nirvana, man. They had a sound that was like, it'll hit you from wherever the fuck you're listening to. I was in France bumping
Yeah.
Nirvana.
So what was your go-to Nirvana song? Did you have one?
It's so funny, dude. When I was a kid, it was like, um, okay, so obviously like the ones we all know, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, the radio hits. But then it
Yeah.
was like Unplugged, MTV Unplugged, things like
Oh,
Plateau,
yeah.
Lake of Fire, those songs, man, something about that when I was a kid. Now it's like now it's things like Buzzkill and
Oh,
what's another one? Paper Cuts. It's like the
oh.
sound has changed and I'm a really happy person, but there's something about like the anger in his voice that I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm angry too.
What was that song for me? I'm so happy. It's a Valium.
Yes. Oh, Lithium. Wait, is it
Lithium.
Lithium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lithium.
Dude,
Lithium.
such a
Yeah.
good shout out to him, man. Shout out to Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl for turning around, going to the Foo Fighters, man. Let's go. Good for him.
Oh yeah. I was a big Foo Fighter nut for a second. Yeah. When the laser gun came out, I was like, laser guns, yes. And like, yeah, the first
Who are you
album blew my
bumping now?
mind.
Who are you listening? What are some artists that you're rocking to right now?
Oh, you got me. I'm thinking.
Take your time.
Uh, no one in particular. Uh, okay, this is okay. I wouldn't say it's uncool because it sounds really good. The Dua Lipa album.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's
And
amazing.
okay, I'm gonna pick up the first thing on my table.
Awesome.
Does this ring a bell?
That is so sick. That is a fire
Um,
album cover.
Buika. Um, she sings Espanol, and
Nice.
it's a flamenco-ish. I don't even know what to call it. Album. It's just piano and voice. I recommend it to anyone. Yeah.
Very cool.
Uh,
Wait, what's the name for people that don't watch the video that just listen to the podcast? What's the name of the album?
Buika. The album is El Último Trago.
Nice. So do you listen to music from all over the world? Doesn't matter about the language or if you understand it, you just bump in whatever sounds good.
Yeah. Because I don't really listen to words. I think it's got to do with my learning disability. The lyrics come after the tunes. So
Totally.
like I listen to I hear the tune, I hear the harmonies, I hear the parts, and then the lyrics are an afterthought. So
Mm-hmm.
when I got into the industry, it didn't occur to me that people lyrics were the first thing, and then everything else is the afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
So like it didn't register with me. So the marketing part of it came really late, only after I could intellectualize it and like understand that, oh, most people get the lyrics first. And it's especially true in the Chinese market, Chinese language. They'd say like, that's a great song. And I'd say, why? Which part of it? And then we'd say like, oh, these words. Oh,
Mm.
not the tune. And then yeah.
I'm like you, man. I'm all about flow. I'm all about melody. Are you,
Yeah.
I think it might be something to do with being bilingual too. Are you multilingual or bilingual?
Yeah, but because of Singapore, we were like multicultural. So we are exposed to many languages. So like for me, it was my ancestral language, which is Hainanese from Hainan Island,
Mm,
the Hawaii of China, and
mm.
the and then English, Mandarin by default. And because I'm in Hong Kong, I learned Cantonese. Because I was crazy about Japanese, so I learned Japanese. And I got to work in a Japanese company, so my Japanese got even better. And then my pidgin English, which is the Japanese accented English. Hello, my name is Hanjin. Kiss me, which is excuse me. Um, yeah.
I think
Does
that
it?
part of the
Yeah.
reason that you think melody and rhythm is because of that multilingual aspect. I don't think it has to do with that. I think it's a gift, man. Because I'm the same
You
way. I'll
think?
hear certain songs 100%. I'll tell you why. Because I'm the same way, and we're gonna say it's a gift because we both listen to melody more. For anybody out there that listens to melody over lyrics, it's a gift, not a curse.
Do you listen quicker than you read?
Yes,
Can you read in chunks? I can't. I did
I
those speed
read.
reading courses.
Yeah,
I never get it. I like, yeah, okay. I'll go in chunks and I'll get nothing. I remember nothing.
I think I'm a better listener than I am like a listening learner. Like I prefer audiobooks to books.
I see. Yeah, I get it. Likewise.
Yeah.
Like on Clubhouse, you speak so well, and I'm like, how does he speak so well? And like you time the points where you when you open your mic or when you start to say something. I'm like, wow, Will catches those moments so well. Like sometimes I keep missing those moments, and like, okay, somebody's spoken, so like I'll just shut up.
It's tough, man. It's one of those things where like, and first of all, I want to say I appreciate it. It's one of those things that's like, I don't want to hurt the flow of the conversation. But if I feel like I can add something, I'm going to jump in because it's like, I want to benefit who I'm talking to. If I feel like I can benefit you in some way, I'm going to interject, but it's a fine line. Cause it's like, sometimes that interjection will be perfectly timed or sometimes you're like, I don't know. And then someone else comes in and it's like,
Yeah, like
everybody's fighting to talk. Oh man.
yeah. The thing is, you seem to time it really well in a way whereby you don't you don't step on anybody, Well, of course, when you step on somebody, you'd be like, yeah, sorry, did somebody want to say something? But like that's what everybody does. But like the way you cut in at the right time, I don't think that's technique because Clubhouse has only been hot for a little while. I mean, it's been beta since like what May last year, but it's new to most of us. So this must be an instinctive thing for you. Is it your politics thing or is it the record label gig?
I think I've been interrupting people my whole life.
Uh,
I've been fighting to talk, man.
cool
But I
beans.
appreciate it. That's mad nice of you, dude. What's it?
No,
So
I
you,
appreciate it because I suck at it. I suck at it. So I when I see you do it well, I'm like, how do you do it?
dude,
Yeah.
honestly, it's like, I think you're gonna find, and anyone who gets in Clubhouse is gonna find, when you really want to say something, you'll find a way to say it. Because I've seen you when you're in a call and you have some valuable shit to say, you jump in and you get it done.
But I'm not so sure if like what I think is valuable to someone else. And then once somebody cuts me off, I'm like, okay, maybe not. And I'm just like, okay, I'll switch off my mic now. Sorry, thank you. Yeah.
You sound more polite than me. You sound like a better person.
I think it's the Singaporean thing, the fear of authority. It's kind of built into us. Yeah, we're kind of like that, I think.
Man, that's so interesting, man. The cultural, like just learning about different cultures around the world is one of the reasons that I want to travel the world the most. Because I just want to know like I want to just experience every culture, man. So when you say that's a Singaporean thing, I have no concept of what that means.
We're afraid of authority. Everything is spoon fed. Government, we like their plans that laid out for us. The plans are really well planned, so you don't think about it too much. It's like, this is pretty good. Let's just stick with it because it is pretty good. But after a while, you stop thinking for yourself because it's too convenient. The wonderful thing about Singapore is the most wonderful thing about Singapore, I think, is public housing is so affordable.
Really?
Everybody's got the option to buy public housing, which is clean, well organized, well planned, and you only need to put down 5% for down payment. Of course, you'd be mortgaging for the rest of your life, but it really eases you up. It's gone to the point whereby Singaporeans are so cash rich because of this. They're blowing up the cars market. And cars are expensive in Singapore because there's like a 300% tax on every single car. You see what I mean?
What?
Yeah. And on top of that, there are tolls. Yeah,
Damn.
they're crazy tolls. Yeah.
Well, see, that's the cool shit about the world, though, right? It's like, I live in LA, and public housing is an absolute disaster. We have a homelessness crisis that's out of fucking control. And then you're saying like that public housing is, I think it's so fascinating. Like, why don't the public housing officials in LA go to Singapore and learn about, but they probably don't even know.
Charlie Munger talks a lot about it. Warren Buffett's partner, Charlie Munger, he talks a lot about how to adopt Singaporean policies to better Western policies. I think he's a really wise man. Yeah.
You bring me to a great transition point. You said you went to school for economics. How does that understanding of business influence your art?
None. The problem with school is that all tech students know what I'm talking about. Computer science students, you learn something at school, you graduate, the code changes, the status quo changes. Who needs to program in VBasic anymore today? Who even knows C++? It's not essential. It is redundant. It's Neanderthal. So economics likewise. Like, yes, it's good to know the invisible hand. Yes, it's good to know how to draw the graphs. But like beyond that, application is everything. And real world applications are far more tactile than what we learn in school. I'm sure you agree with me.
Yeah, 100%. I do. I'm curious though, like, let's say like in terms of deal negotiating and things like that, you don't think it plays a purpose as far as like, how has it been navigating those, like, contract building and stuff for you?
Oh, it's hard because I don't talk good.
I totally disagree. I completely disagree. You talk fantastically. You're a great conversationalist, but I'll let you finish your point. But I'm going to disagree on that. I think you're a great speaker.
I think I talk well in friendly situations where like when like I feel, but if I start to feel scared, I I just ball up like a, I want to say armadillo, but I don't think I'm half as hard. Yeah, maybe more like a, I don't know, hedgehog. I don't know.
You know how I don't know if you've seen Key and Peele skits, but they have like the Obama with the anger translator. You gotta get you a fucking anger translator, dude. You need when you become an armadillo, you need me in the room to be like the dude next to you, like, don't you fucking talk like that.
Oh, that'd be good, man. That's sweet of you, man. That's
No
really sweet of
question.
you. Send me a link. Send me a link.
I got you.
Send me a
Just
link. Yeah.
zoom me in anytime you're in a meeting. I'll be that guy.
Okay. Hang on. I'll let Will translate for me.
I just come on screaming at the top of my lungs. Oh man, that's gonna be my first NFT. It's just me losing my mind.
Yeah. Since what has transpired since the Tiffany Haddish Hammer room, my first NFT room, on the NFT world for you, NFT verse for you.
Dude, it's crazy. I love that you were there for that, because that was like really my first real experience on Clubhouse. Was like this monster room with like titans of industry, man. MC Hammer, Tiffany Haddish. Like, how the fuck did we end up in that room?
Oh, ding dong,
It's
me too. How did I end up on that stage?
crazy, but
Yeah.
it's been a wild ride since. I mean, it like, I'll say this for people who don't understand like the value of Clubhouse. I had 0 Twitter followers before Clubhouse. That was last week.
Yeah.
I have 270 now. You know, like
Awesome.
I had 700 followers on Instagram. I have 1,200 now.
Yeah.
I'm not good at social media. I think partly because it's not interactions like this. I think my strengths lie in interacting with people. But when it's
This
like, yeah,
you talk good.
thank you, man. I appreciate it. But when it's just me, I get very uncomfortable because it's just me and a camera. I'm like, and I like fuck up, you know, and it doesn't make sense to me. So Clubhouse allowed me, you know, it shows people that I really mean what I'm saying. I think that's really what the difference was for me. How has it been for you? You know, because I see you have great success. You could talk about your following on Instagram. This man has over 70,000 followers on Instagram. You talk about the Chinese Twitter. You have 500,000. How do you feel differently about Clubhouse?
Well, I think Clubhouse. Okay, I went on Clubhouse just now. Yeah, while you were still in the snow. That's how addicted I am. I'll be having my breakfast or lunch, whatever that meal is called, and then I'll be on Clubhouse, and I saw this room where there was this film producer. Her name is Joyce. I think she's based in New York. And I kind of trolled her into this room where there was an interview with a Singaporean actor, and then they were finishing up, and I thought I'd ask a question about actors not being able to find fun roles anymore, and like the only way out is to do your own script and start your own project. Does he feel the same? He says, yeah. And then Joyce chimes in, and then I'm like, oh, cool. I'm talking to Joyce. I've been wanting to talk to her. I've been so curious. The thing about Clubhouse that I think is different from other forms of social media, I think, is that when you want to troll somebody, you can. And when you're curious about somebody, you can actually take steps to try to reach out in a more polite way, you know, and instead of like immediately DMing somebody, which I never got over the fact that I could offend them, and I'm scared of making people feel uncomfortable. So like if we hadn't talked in Clubhouse, I would not have the courage to DM you and start talking to you, no matter how curious I am about you. But Clubhouse feeds my curiosity, feeds some courage into my curiosity, I think.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's the same for you.
It is. You articulate it in a way that I can't. That's why when you say you're not a good speaker, I'm like, yo, you're a better speaker than I am. You're articulating ways I can't.
But when I get scared too easy, maybe that's the difference. Yeah.
it's a
Like
fascinating thing that we're
I can't
talking about
cut
right
into
now.
a conversation like you can, like you do, you know. I just don't do it. So like, yeah, kudos to
I
you
think
and thanks for the compliment.
no, it's and that's what I love about like people, man. Like we're both very similar in some ways. We're both curious people who are like really trying to learn more, and we're like we're just curious people, but we go about it in very different ways. And the things that like make you uncomfortable, I'm comfortable with, and things I'm comfortable with, you're uncomfortable with. Like I love that. That's what I love about human interaction. Because especially to the point, right? Like if anyone feels like you do, I want to say to you and to them, like you don't need to feel that way, because at the end of the day, I want to hear what you have to say. Everything that I ever heard you say in a Clubhouse call was fucking awesome. So but I hope that this conversation makes you a little more comfortable to be like, maybe you'll jump in next time. I know it's hard to unlearn those habits, but jump in, man. You have more important shit to say than I have when I jump in sometimes.
But you say it good and you time it well.
Thank you.
So
Listen, something
I'm
for us
gonna
to
hire
work
you
on.
as my anger translator.
For
Like tag team, bam bam.
exactly. Well, listen, man, let me ask you this. So you get into music, the music thing's starting to roll. Your
Yeah,
family is not really giving you the acclaim that you're seeking, then, but you get it from the acting.
yeah.
How do you navigate between, the acting bringing the satisfaction from others and the music bringing satisfaction to you? Do you like prefer one or the other? Are you still trying to navigate both? How does that come into play in your life?
Music brings me more satisfaction than acting personally because my dream is to be a rock star. But um, I know that that dream is not so achievable unless the era of Elton John returns. I love Elton John, but there has not been an Elton John since Elton John. Um, since the 70s, it's been like, please grow your hair, please look like you're anorexic, and be cool no matter what, be cool. And my face is like this, the uh, the antithesis of cool. So yeah, I kind of that kind of goes out the window in terms of marketing imagery. But I am putting out a new sound for my new albums, for my new work. I don't know if they're going to be called albums anymore. um it's basically, I'm going back to what I'm most comfortable with, which is hip hop style production and electric guitars. So it's beats, one electric guitar, couple of voices, print. And I think if if I do succeed in putting out NFTs, it's going to be in that theme musically. So I've got to ask you, you've probably gone heaps in terms of information and in terms of like how to get into the space since last week in that room, in the Tiffany Haddish and Hammer room. Um, how far have you gone so far?
As far as like Clubhouse growth?
No, you and NFTs.
Oh man, oh my God. Dude, I went from so I already had like a base level understanding. I've been in blockchain crypto space since like 2012. But NFTs, like, man, I went from hearing NFTs for the first time in like December and just being
Oh,
like, yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever, crypto art, to being like, holy shit, this is the digital art revolution. Like this is we're living through a renaissance. Um, it's been insane. I mean, and I'm sure you can relate to this. We talked in that room last week. It's felt like 2 months have gone by with the amount of
yeah.
information I've consumed. The amount of NFT drops that I've witnessed, the amount of people I've spoken to, the amount of like industry players that I've interacted with, it's insane. It's like the level of, we were talking about, the access is crazy.
How do you feel about it right now? Like, as in, like, okay, there's still people who are talking about, oh, it's a deed to a house, and there's some guys are saying like, oh, it's got royalty, it's got a royalty system that you can incorporate into a smart contract. It's a great way to monetize. And then there are guys who are saying like, oh, the legal system's going to come crashing down on it. And there's another bunch of guys saying like record labels and movie labels are like just watching and waiting for the right moment to jump in. Um, my understanding of it right now is like it's just two things: NFTs. It's bragging rights, which basically translates to flex or
Mhm.
fuzzy feelings.
Yep.
And two, once you've established that, it's speculation. Can it be speculated? If it's not speculated, if it cannot be speculated, it makes the investor more hesitant to pick up as a buyer. And then like I go into rooms. I thought NFTs are like everybody's talking about it, right?
Mhm.
On the contrary, I went into a room yesterday, 500 plus people, quant investors. It's a serious room. Within 5 minutes, they're interviewing me about NFTs. I'm like, why is it that you guys, tech geniuses, finance geniuses, don't know about it? These are mainland Chinese guys. So
Mhm.
NFTs are not. The NFT thing is definitely in its infancy.
Yeah.
Is it the same
No question.
there?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you ask 10 people in the United States about NFTs, 8 of them wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Quick
Maybe
question:
go ahead.
Has any of these guys, the big tastemaker guys, for people like us,
Mhm.
Supreme, Undefeated, maybe Stash, maybe Futura, maybe Jose Parlo, has anyone talked about making NFTs yet?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard. I mean, I know Taco Bell did, but like that, they're
Yes,
not a
on
tastemaker.
Rarefied, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Rarible. Yeah,
wearable. Yeah, which is
yeah.
awesome. I mean, look, this is the way that I look at it. If you're asking my personal opinion, I look at it like I look
Yeah.
at blockchain and Bitcoin, right? 2012, Bitcoin's getting a little bit of hype. You know, like it goes. I think it's like $80 to 1,000, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Whoa, what is Bitcoin?" People
Yeah.
talk about it for like 3 months,
Yeah.
levels out. We don't hear about it anymore. 2016 comes, 2017 comes, Bitcoin hits 20,000. MSNBC, CNBC, all these American and worldwide news stations, BBC, whatever, they're all like, "Whoa, Bitcoin's amazing. It's taking over the world." Hits 20,000. Yeah, 80% crash. Goes from 20,000 to 3,000. Everybody forgets about Bitcoin. People lost their life savings. It's tragic, right? Like it's horrifying. So people are like, "Fuck this." Like there's, like everyone was like, it's a financial system for the unbanked. People in like despotic leaders like Argentina, etc. They can have their money. That all stopped. 2020 comes around, coronavirus, institutional failure happens, blockchain comes back. And now it's like Bitcoin's at 60,000. Yeah, we're looking real crazy. And that's when NFTs become a big thing. And so the way that I look at it is this, like, it's cyclical. I think that we're going to probably have the craze that we see now. And then I'm calling it right now. 3 years from now, me and you are going to have this conversation again. When we're coming back, we're going to do this. And then 3 to 5 years ago, we're going to do that. And then 5 years from now, everybody's going to be getting back into it in a crazy way. And it's going to keep getting more and more normalized until it's fully a part of society. Because I do think that it's here to stay. I don't think you can turn this off. I think it's too innovative. But I do think that we're not prepared yet. I think it's like too new age, but in a way that I love. Like, I think that's why me and you are so fascinated by it, that it's like, it is that cool. It is that revolutionary. But like, if you can't buy an NFT the same way that you can buy Skittles from the store, I don't think that the average person is ever going to, like, it has to be that seamless before it's like fully integrated, right? You have
I'm
to be
gonna
able to get
try
Coinbase.
this from this week. I'm gonna try putting up like random posts like, do you know what NFTs are? Or I was thinking, if I gave out free NFTs, I was like, would you guys like that?
If you say that, you're going to get a huge response. I'll give you free NFTs. You're going to get flooded in your DMs.
I'm curious though, because like the next question to follow up would be, have you got your Meta mask?
That's where you're going to
valid, I
stop.
think.
I think that's where the conversation is going to stop for a lot of people. People have MetaMask. What? Once you start saying things like hardware, once you start saying things like cold storage, ledger wallets, blockchain. I mean, that's the thing, right? This is my main thing. We haven't even gotten to, people are stuck at NFTs. They don't even understand what they're built on yet. No one even knows what the blockchain is.
But they need a wallet to they need something that calls Ethereum at least.
Agreed.
I
But
started my
this,
wallet a
yeah,
couple of days ago, just a
yeah,
couple of days ago, just like 2 days after that room.
yeah,
So I don't know. I'm into NFTs. I got excited in NFTs for one simple reason. I came up in a time where CDs failed and MP3s failed to
mhm, agreed.
live up to their promise. And for the
Yeah,
past 10 years or so, free platforms have been full on exploiting music,
hmm,
to the point of zero, maybe.
yeah,
Um, I had it hard, but I don't think I had it half as hard as the next generation of musicians.
hmm,
So like I'm thinking like that's got to be a way for them. I'm thinking NFTs could be a way, not as a fungible media, but maybe music as art. And
yeah,
so I decided I want to guinea pig myself, and like for Chinese music, uh, if I can prove or at least show semblance of proof of sustainability, then
yeah,
maybe the younger the kid the new guys, they'll be like, yeah, maybe we can do this, and like we can keep doing music, because otherwise they go back to selling insurance.
agreed.
That which was my backup plan. I told my dad to
Hmm,
say, okay, dad, 10 years, just give me 10 years. If I mess
yeah,
this up and I can't support myself, I promise you I'll go sell insurance, or
yeah.
I'll sign up with a bank, you know.
Hmm. Well, I think that's kind of the beauty of what I love about this space, right? And what I think resonated with me about you is like that risk, the putting it all on the line, like really going for your dreams and pursuing your purpose is something I want to encourage everyone to do, but it's very difficult. And I think what NFTs presents is a way for people to do it. Like
Yeah,
it's a way for you, like you were saying, like things like Spotify and iTunes, they don't provide you enough money to survive off your art in many cases. But NFTs, when you're getting all of that money to you, it's a new way. Not to bash the Spotify's and iTunes of the world, even though it's a very easy route for me to take right now. I think it's just I say it to people, it's not an instead of, it's an on top of. Like you
yeah.
can put your music on Spotify and iTunes, but now you can also put it on top of a video and sell it as an NFT, and someone could put it on an LCD screen in their living room and play your art on their wall. Like that is it's revolutionary. And that's
I
what I'm
wish
most
I could,
excited about.
yeah. Or Patreon, or
Patreon is the future too. I mean, we're what I love about the internet really is that we're seeing artists, we're reducing the amount of people they have to go through to reach their audiences,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. There's this other website my wife found for me. Royalty, I forget. But like it's a but it's not applicable for new artists, I think. Not so directly accessible, because it's for guys who have published catalog, and they can auction royalties. They can auction a part of or entire royalties to their publishing rights
Oh,
on this
nice.
platform. Yeah. So but that makes me feel like maybe not for up and coming musicians, because A, you need established catalog, and
Hmm.
B, it's kind of a it kind of signals in a bad way, in the sense that why are you um so and so famous artist or famous writer selling off your rights for hard
Yeah,
cash? Why are you cashing
agreed.
out? Then it starts to, you know, throw out a lot more question marks, and like
Hmm.
maybe that's not something I want to get into. Yeah, but like
It's
NFTs for sure. Yeah.
for no question. Like that, I think we're both on the same page, and I'm trying to include my audience in this. It is a mistake to ignore this, regardless of if you want to get into it or not. We should all be paying attention, because this is like, it's like what you said with the reason we're both so into Clubhouse. It's like we missed these other waves. We missed the Instagram wave. We missed the
Did
Twitter
you?
wave.
You missed it
Yeah,
too?
completely. I mean, dude, I have 1,200 followers on Instagram. Like I
Oh,
completely
okay.
missed yeah,
Okay.
I completely missed the
Okay.
wave. And then
Duh.
Twitter,
Yeah.
yeah, I like fully, but that's because I mean, I met other things and missed other things. I don't wish any different in life. I like how my life has progressed, but I'm tired of, not taking things as seriously as I should. So like Clubhouse, NFTs, blockchain, I'm not going to ignore these things. They're not just fads, because this is the
Oh,
thing, right?
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I
Go
figured
ahead.
something out too. IPFS. Have you had discussions about IPFS and interplanetary file systems? Oh, it's another blockchain thing, but it's blockchain storage.
Oh, like
Unique.
Filecoin.
Is it okay? I don't know enough about Filecoin to make the comparison, but some blockchain guys are saying like you don't have to mint your entire file into the NFT token, the Ethereum token. You can mint the token and link it to have your main file, which is probably pretty huge, as an IPFS interplanetary file system, which has also a unique identifier, and only to realize that there's a software called Pinata that does this. Um, um, Only to realize that it's just a storage system, storage cataloging. So it doesn't mean much unless because it is not part of the Ethereum chain, which is what everybody's crazy about right now. Yeah. Sorry, I got off track.
No, it's a good track to be on. There's a cryptocurrency called Filecoin that's like a storage based crypto. And
is it a friend of Dodge?
No. It's a real one. It's a real one. Yeah, dude. Oh man, I remember Dogecoin when it first came out. I was like, yeah, this is really funny that these guys made this cryptocurrency that was a joke. And here we are like 4 years later, and it's like a multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency that the founders are like, this has no value. But yeah.
Are you a diamond hand? Do you have diamond hands?
I have diamond hands.
Are you holding on to your GME?
I have diamond hands that are not Dogecoin related. I have diamond hands for other things.
Okay.
Some things aren't worth having diamond hands for.
Are you part of the GME revolution?
Dude, yes.
GameStop.
Yes. I think that it's the premise behind it is one of my most it's fascinating to me. It's like it's the common man taking on hedge funds. It's like the most beautiful romanticized story ever. But at the end of the day, we're all gonna get fucked. There's no way we're beating hedge funds.
How diamond are your hands on that one?
I'll tell you, I'm paper handed because I got in late, sold late, bought late, sold late. I'm so off on GameStop. It's ridiculous. But I'm like, I'm in it for the culture. I'm in it for the culture, man.
So you're still hodl. You're still hodling.
Yes, of course.
Okay,
of course.
Good for you. Good on you, man.
Till the day that I die, man. This is the thing that I love about it. It reminds me somewhat of like Bitcoin, right? Where it was like people were like, "This is the future." Like I think the thing about GameStop that's really revolutionary is it's people being like, we the people can decide what companies have value, right? Because everyone's like, institutionally or fundamentally, GameStop should not be what it's worth. But what my argument is to them is it's like, well, just the same with like art pieces, we set the price if we believe it to be that. So if people say GameStop is $1 trillion company, who's to say it's not?
Okay. Follow-up question.
Okay.
Last year I was looking last year when COVID hit, basically EA, all the game companies, they were like, yeah, it's gonna be Nintendo even, and then like a couple of guys were talking about GameStop. They're like, look, where do you buy games? We go to GameStop, so we should be buying GameStop. And then nobody really talked about it for a while until Diamond Hands. Yeah. And like, timing is everything, but how do you know if you don't know? And how do you I have this feeling that people who are able to monetize on their financial decisions, most of them didn't do it to monetize on their financial decisions.
Yeah. I have a theory. If you were to always buy what you like exclusively, like if let's say that you like video games, so you only bought EA, Activision, GameStop, 10 cents, if you kept it exclusively to what you enjoy, you will make money. You will make money. Because I'm convinced. I'm convinced that if you only stick to what you enjoy, because that way you know that you like it, and there's going to be we're all human beings. So if you like it, I probably like it too, or there's going to be someone else. And there's 7 billion people on this planet. So if a million of them agree with you, that's my investment strategy. Is it if you say to me, "Will, I like GameStop," I'll probably buy it.
You know what? Good on you, Will. I have the opposite story. I the things the things I like seem to be so niche that they just go kaplunk, and like to the point where like me and a couple other guys are like the remaining customers like, hey, you want to hang out for tea maybe, and like that's the number of people in that circle, and like so it doesn't apply to me, but good on you, Will. You are in touch with the tastes of the masses, and like you're gonna go places. You're gonna monetize real good.
We'll see. We'll talk about this
I'm
in 10
happy
years.
for you.
Let's
My
talk
anger
10 years from
translator is
now.
gonna be a rich man. He's gonna be a rich man.
I'm gonna ask you this 10 years from today. So 2031, March 17th, 2031. We're gonna get back on the phone and we're gonna see how this went. We'll see how this played out.
I'm so curious about you too, though. I have one more question. Are you more politics, or are you more, I want to say art? Yeah, let's just say art.
Oh,
yeah.
I like how you flipped my interview on me.
Look, I'm curious about you. You're a misnomer to me, and you're a maverick to me. I have a gazillion question marks.
Man, you should come back and interview me on the podcast. That'd be fire. If I had to tell you, fuck yeah. Damn. I would say, okay, I'll give you a 2-part answer.
Okay.
The truth is probably that I lean more towards art because I enjoy like music, food, like visual, like paintings, movies, cinema, TV, all that. It's been infinitely informative upon my life. Like I can't even quantify for you how influential art has been for me. But I'll tell you that politics and humanitarianism is more important. Like I didn't want to lie to you and say that the politics matters more because it doesn't, but it should. It really, there are so many problems in the world right now that we have to address.
I get the feeling that your heart's gonna bring you more towards politics or some form of it. It seems to get your blood up more than art.
No question. Unfortunately, because I honestly like.
No, I don't think it's an unfortunate thing because it explains why you talk so good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's the communication thing. You know, like if you were an artist, you probably wouldn't talk so good. You probably be a bit more like me, like abed, and like
that's why I have these interviews.
Syndrome.
That's why I bring you all on, right? Because you all are the talent. Like I'm a conduit so that people can learn about you and can like, you know, listen to your music and experience your art. I'm just the guy that can bring them to you. That's where I see my value in the art community, is just exposing. That's why I spend so much time in Clubhouse. I'm just trying to learn about who cool artists are like you so that I can hit them up and be like, yo, come on my podcast so I can like expose my audience to you.
Awesome. Second question. Why do you have the Andy Warhol get up on your avatar in Clubhouse?
Dude,
is there a specific?
Yeah, that's so funny you say that. So the you're talking about like a black and white picture?
Correct.
So that was a photo shoot that I did with a photographer who will be on the podcast soon. Her name is Kylie. She's fucking incredible. And she showed me a picture of oh my God, Irving Penn. And I could be so wrong. I'm praying that I got his name right, but he's an amazing photographer. And he had these pictures of Salvador Dali, and they were in black and white, and they were just like that. And I had this suit that I had made for Halloween. I was Beetlejuice, so I bought a black suit at Goodwill and I painted white stripes on it. And we did a photo shoot a la like Irving Penn, and it was me sitting on a stool with a black backdrop and a black and white. And I just loved how it looked, man. It made me feel like an artist. So that's why that's my profile picture, because I love that photo.
Nice. Shoot. It's nice. Makes you look really arty.
yo, it made me feel arty. Now now the picture is more of it's a picture that my partner took of me. It's like all blue and it's got a lot of blue. It's when my hair was blue. It's got some blue
Oh,
tones. Yeah.
uh,
I
awesome.
try to be creative. But we gotta bring this back to you, man. I got two questions for you before I let you go. Three
Okie
questions.
dokie. Okie dokie.
First question is, we're all given words of wisdom throughout our life that inform us, that move us forward, that like sustain us. What's some words of wisdom that you've gotten in your life that have like benefited you?
Wow. Don't have them in text form. First is okay. In random order.
Cool.
Uh, does it have to be advice, or could it be from
So whatever
some
you
other
feel like
source?
saying. It could be literally anything.
Okay, I remember this, but I don't know how important it is. My Japanese boss, when I was working for him as an intern, for a long time. Oh, that was a really long internship, so it was more like a job. He said, "Hanjin, you have to be musician and a businessman,
Mm,
not just a musician." He said this to me in his BMW.
mm,
I guess what he was trying to say is like, don't be poor, my friend. Don't focus on your craft too much. You need to focus on the business. You need to do the business as well. So like,
mhm,
I guess uh, I learned I learned I learned how to do the business, but I also learned that I'm not good at it. I don't have the natural capacity for it. And then there is this thing from either Taoism or like Tao, the way of the Tao,
yeah.
or Zen, and it's to watch and not to participate. Just
Mm,
watch, let it come, let it go, and when you do something, just do that thing and nothing else. Like if you're having dinner, just have dinner. Don't watch TV and have dinner at the same time. Uh, I guess in a nutshell, it's called mindfulness, but
mhm.
that makes me sound so shallow. Um,
It's
the
true though.
concept, yeah, the concept that the part of it that touches me is that you simplify, and when you feel it seems, yes, it looks poor, but when you do it and when you're inside that moment, you don't feel poor. You actually start to feel peace, and the value of peace is more important than the value of ecstasy. um I feel that a lot of people mistake ecstasy for happiness. I think the happiness that would satisfy us more would be a peaceful happiness, and I wish that
Mm.
for every human being. It probably is hard, but I do wish more people find it more quickly. Instead of waiting till our later years, our when we're 70 and 80, when like we to find it. Why not find it while when we're in our 30s? At least recognize it, and then like sleep better, love better, and yeah, I think I'll stop there. Yeah.
It's amazing.
The,
I love that you
yeah.
use Tao and Zen as your two. I fuck with both of those. Would you consider yourself to be a practitioner of Zen?
I tried to practice it for a while,
Hmm.
um, uh, to meditate and to the Zen way of meditation.
Hmm.
And oh my God, my brain started going crazy. I I could not. I got stressed because I put a lot of pressure on myself to learn it, and you
Hmm.
have to learn it. I kept listening to the advice, and it's to not force anything
Hmm.
and to let things happen. So I like, okay, let's just take a break, and when I am ready to come back, I think I'll go back to it. So I'll go back to it when I go back to it. I like to, but I'm not gonna force myself. I think I will get back to it soon enough.
That's
Yeah.
pretty Zen right there. I'm gonna get back to it when I'm ready to get back to it. Is the most Zen thing I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
man. I'm so into it. I wouldn't call myself a Zen Buddhist because I feel like that goes against Zen, is to call
Uh,
yourself someone, you know? But I
Uh,
love it, man. I think it's like when I discovered mindfulness was one of the most formative moments of my life, because I was always so concerned with like doing things, and then I realized that like just let shit happen, you know?
yeah, yeah. It's hard. I know, especially for someone who talks so good like you. Because for you it's so easy. There's an instinct in you that goes like thought, execute, thought, voice, and like for me it's like thought. Okay, hang on a minute. Is this stupid? You know, am I being dumb? Yeah,
I don't have the stupid dumb thing. I just say the dumb thing.
yeah. No, you're full on NFT mode. I'm still in the old economy. You know, I still have to go to, hi, is this Christie's? Will you sell my work?
That's amazing.
Oh
Here we
my
go. I
god,
got two.
yeah. Okay, go ahead,
Oh,
go ahead.
nah, no,
I got
crazy.
carried away. I
No,
just want
I,
to ask
dude,
you things, you know.
no, I hear it. Listen, we definitely got to have you. If you ever want to come back on the show, I would absolutely love to have another episode with you. I'm
Okay.
having such a good time. For the sake of the conversation, because I know people's attention spans are short, I'm gonna wrap it with two last ones. But for
Okay.
sure, if you ever want to come back, man, I would
Shoot.
absolutely love to have you. My second
Shoot.
to last question is this: if you were a superhero, what would your superpower be, and what would your superhero name be?
I don't know. Oh, I know. Okay, I'll just make one up right now. Um,
Awesome,
um, I'll be um OM.
nice. What's your
And my
power?
superpower is I'm so peaceful. I can never be not peaceful.
Dope. You like make other people peaceful. You're that peaceful. You can like it's contagious.
I hope so, but that would be the point.
Nice. Nice. I love it. That's a great power. Um, that's a pretty fucking awesome superhero. That's like the most
And then
that is like the superhero of Zen. Just so calm. He like doesn't even really care about helping people, but because he doesn't care, he ends up helping them. That's so
well, but
badass.
no, but it comes back to the thing about compassion though. Like if you read you read about read the literature, like
Mhm,
a peaceful person is a compassionate person. So it will come because
mhm,
you start to see like you see yourself in everything. You know the concept of parallel universes?
mhm,
Um yeah, or parallel dimensions. I was introduced to this idea whereby we are living in our own worlds. We're living in a myriad of worlds. We are the masters of our own universes because we see the way we see the world is a version of the world. And in this version of the world, we are the leading actor, so to speak, the
mhm,
main character.
mhm.
And there are multiple versions all around us. And we're all part of each another's worlds. So like uh 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 uh, in that way we're living multiple dimensions in the same space. It's like in my world, you're a player in my role in my world. You know, you're a part of my world. You're part of me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And in your world, I'm a part of you in your
Yeah,
world. Yeah.
it's
And so like
awesome.
we're all everyone is us, and we are everyone could play out in that way, I guess.
That's dude, that's singularity versus duality. And I
Yeah.
resonate with that. I really do think it's like we're just representations of each other in different spaces, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like,
Kind of like that. Yeah.
you know what I'm
Could
saying?
be.
It's like I'm Hanjin and your will, and then the inverse in every way. And it's playing out in all these different ways. That type of shit, man, that could be like the topic of an entire podcast episode, is just discussing that concept because it's so fascinating to me. But I'm gonna ask
Might
you
need to get a little bit high for that conversation.
a little bit,
Yeah.
a lot,
Just a bit to start. Yeah.
just
Next
enough.
question. Yeah.
This is my final one for you, but I'm gonna say something before I ask it.
Okie dokie.
When I have a Living with Will festival and I'm manifesting it right now, you're about to
Okay.
come through and you're about to shut that shit down. You're about to rock the house, dude. Because you were talking about your project earlier that's like hip hop with electronic guitar, first of all, you got to send me that project the second that it comes out because I
Will
gotta
do.
play that, please.
Okie
But you
dokie.
gotta if we can somehow finagle a way that we can either have the Living with Will experience in LA with you there, or if I'm gonna have to come and meet you in Hong Kong for us to throw a show there, or we gotta go to Singapore, we're gonna make it happen because you are a fucking rock star, dude. You were saying that it's your dream. You're living your dream right now. You just don't see it the way I see it.
No, you're too kind.
It's the
I
truth,
thank
dude.
you for that. I thank
You're
you for that.
listen, I say this to friends of mine as well. It's like you're living the dream that I have of making music, but it's not the way that you dreamed it. But what I hear you talking about it, I'm like, dude, you're in it. You have achieved it. You're making music. The fact that you're even making music makes you a rock star. So we're gonna make sure that you know that when you're on stage and I'm introducing you like it's fucking Hanjin, and I'm losing my shit. I'm trying to
Universal.
stay quiet.
You're like, so you're gonna be UAT, Universal Anger Translator.
Yes, I love it. We might have some legal issues with UTA because of that.
Oh, will we?
But I love it. I fucking love it. But listen, man, this is gonna be my final question to you for the night. And I'm
Yes,
gonna
please.
preface this with I hope everybody tunes in for part 2 when we eventually record the part 2 of this episode, because I know people are gonna be asking for it. But my final
Okie
question
dokie.
for the part 1 episode is this. If you were to I'm gonna play a setting out for you. Me and you are
Okay.
we're sitting on your private island 30 years from now, and we're listening to this podcast. We're looking back on it like, damn, what a life we've lived. And it gets to this part, and I ask you, if you could look back on this moment, what would the advice that you'd want to share with the world be? Like, what would your piece that you could give to the world in this vocalized moment be? What would the advice from the man Hanjin himself be?
To the world, though.
Yeah.
Okay. My correct answer would be, I don't know. And then my PC answer would be, be happy, my friends.
I love that. That's awesome. That's a great answer, honestly. I don't know is probably the smartest answer anyone could possibly say.
Because yeah, I couldn't think of anything because I don't know what I'd be thinking when I'm 70. Yeah, but I
Let
do
me ask
wish
you.
everybody would be happy. I do wish everybody be happy. Yeah.
I agree. That's what
Ask
I would
me,
have
please.
said. I know. What I
Okay.
would say to you is this. What I would say to you is, I'm gonna ask you a new way of asking it.
Okay.
Someone's on. It's like your child self, but it's like a new person, right? It's like baby
Mm,
Will, and I want to be a musician, and I
mm,
don't, and I'm like being told by my teachers that you can't be a musician, you're not good enough, and
mm,
society is just telling me I can't do it. What
mm.
would your advice be to me to keep me going? Like, what would be some words that you would want to say to your younger self to encourage you to continue making music?
Baby Will or Baby Hanjin?
Both. Let's get both.
Okay. Okay. Here, Will or Hanjin. Here's an iPhone and here's an iPad. Download GarageBand. You don't need a microphone. You can just sing into it. Let me see what you do with it. Yeah, when you're done with it. Talk in a week. I think that's all I'll say.
That's awesome. Just do it. It's like Nike.
You know when you say, is it telling of our age when we talk about the Just Do It campaign?
I don't think so. I think that's
Do
still
kids get
valid.
it? Do
Yeah,
kids get it?
I hope so.
Oh, okay.
I,
I realize there's some things that kids that doesn't click. Like, and I did never realize it until on Clubhouse. I was like some guys will be talking about like some TV show or like some catchphrase or like Macarena, and like you'll be like, what is that? And you feel like, oh, I have to explain it to you. Okay, here's the background story, and you go on for about 5 minutes.
I love it, man. Yo, do you have any projects or anything that people should be aware of that they should keep an eye on?
Okay, I've got a new single out. It's called in Chinese "Fanxing," which means many stars. Wong Kar Wai is like the for like okay, let me try to do a simple comparison. Wong Kar Wai is the who's the biggest art director you would say in your film world, in your film universe?
I mean, I don't know film universe, but I would say Virgil Abloh for Louboutin. I'd say he's probably the biggest art director I can think of right now.
How about over the past 30 years? Someone like
a film director?
Like a film director, someone like
Martin Scorsese.
Francois Truffaut.
Oh, okay. I like your reference.
Truffaut. So like he's like the Francois Truffaut of Chinese film.
Wow.
Yeah, not so much. Okay, maybe Scorsese, but Scorsese is he's so much more prolific. Wong Kar Wai takes 4 years to make a film. He could, and he shoots and reshoots and shoots and reshoots and shoots and reshoots. And the amazing thing is like these guys, these big leading men and women allow him to put them through the shoots and reshoots. And he's got that kind of power and appeal. And like he shot a commercial for Benz, and he got me to do and sing the theme song for it. And basically he made an MV for me. That's how I take it. It's like, oh, thank you for making this beautiful music video. I'll send you the link to it. I think there's a version on YouTube. Yeah. And that's my most recent project.
I can't believe you don't think you're a rock star, man. Like this is the type of shit. You're working with prolific directors and you still that's how I know you never really feel like you make it, no matter how much you make it. Because dude, you're fucking killing it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. I'm gonna send you this link. Ding 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 ding. I'll send you later so that I don't do the dead air.
As soon as you can, yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
You're a fucking legend. This has been such a great interview. Like I'm inspired.
I need to talk to you more. I need to talk to you more because you have not touched the surface on the NFT thing. We need to talk more.
Yeah, we haven't even broached the subject. That's what I love about this series too. It's like I'll have conversations with people like you where it's like we didn't even get to the questions that I meant to ask because the conversation was so fucking good.
That's the thing about human interaction. Like somehow we get caught up in the emotion all the time, but maybe that's what it's all about. Not so much the content.
I agree. I think people are going to resonate with this interview more because me and you get along than they would with anything that we said. They're just going to feel that there's like, you know what I mean? We're like friends. People are going to respect that. We're like friends who've never met. Like that's an awesome concept, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Dude, you're the fucking man. This has been such a good interview. I'm so grateful for you coming. This is the shit. This made my whole day. 爱是闪烁的繁星，爱是路途的真希望，却温习着执着的心，到处飞腾行千里，就像。